this year in Shadowlands, but I really feel like it's one of those classes that is gaining a little bit more popularity. And if it is getting better, I mean, Creed would definitely be one of those teams that could take advantage of that.
Most certainly. These guys are always a team that is throwing in surprises. Drainer, historically a healer that really doesn't like sticking to, the meta. He's always playing sort of, Mistweaver when it's not that great. Holy Priest last year, famously with a console controller. So these guys always have surprises up their sleeve. And I'm so excited for this screen to change into the blind compositions to see what exactly they have here in store for Tegridy Damp. But, I mean, right now, these two teams, very, very close in standing points. So this is going to be a intense series no matter which side you're on here, but it is game number 1. We're going to be starting this up here shortly. Creed versus Tegridy Damp's kind of traditional meta team versus this team here, Creed. So what are they going to play here? What are we going to be seeing from these guys? We'll be finding out soon here.
I hope it is the Demon Hunter. You know what's really good from Demon Hunter? Well, what's really good as a Demon Hunter into the Affliction Shadow Priest is reverse magic. You can group up, and then you can reverse magic every single dot on your entire team and reflect them back on the enemy team. So it's a really good defensive maneuver, and I feel like it would give them a lot of longevity. The question is, what do they play it with? They have an Elemental Shaman, they have an Enhancement Shaman, they have a Mage to pair it with. So if they are going to be locking that in, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what that third is, and what healer is Drainer going to play as well. Could play the Mistweaver Monk, so you would have like the reverse magic from the Demon Hunter as well as the Mistweaver Monk. You could be using the healing spheres to dispel all those damage over time effects. Could be a bit of a soft counter to what Tegridy Damp has, and I mean, Tegridy Damp really only has that one composition, so Creed fully knows what they're going into here.
Well, Creed better let Onyxia know what the dot counter is after this, if it ends up working out.
More dots. All right.
Oh, okay. My goodness. With a fire mage.
Yeah.
This is.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna say it. I called this composition out 2 weekends ago. I actually have lost to this composition on the ladder. So the Demon Hunter Fire Mage, very explosive. If Tren is playing Night Fae, which he is, what they can do is set up just an imprisonment on the healer, a stun, a Fell Eruption on a target, and just combustion with the hunt. It is a ton of damage. And if you kind of just rinse, repeat that setup, I feel like Creed has massive one-shot capabilities.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is actually the first time in the entire Cup stage and Circuit stage where we do see a Demon Hunter in general here. And this could be an opportunity here for Trent already. Getting aggressive onto Wallirik, forcing out the Trinket. And here comes the Metamorphosis. Wallirik as well now in Soul Shape, trying to get away here, trying to build distance. Trent is very dangerous on that Demon Hunter right now. And he has still not used the Hunt. I don't think so, at least. And I'm pretty sure we can't see it tracked either. So there's actually, no, it is there on the ability bar, so we're going to keep a close eye there for that Hunt. It's going to be massive damage, and Tran, he likes to fake cast it. Oh, this is out.
There it is!
Boom! Okay.
My goodness.
Super Tease, where's the smile? I see it. he is smiling.
You guys can't see his face right now, but Super Tease is beaming.
Look at Fnoberz. He looks so like, oh no, what is this? I swear this composition is insane. I mean, Combustion is a scary cooldown. The Hunt is also an incredibly scary cooldown. I feel like your one-shot capabilities with this comp it's there, and I mean that's what we saw. What a quick game that was.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's last time we saw Demon Hunters, it wasn't in Shadowlands, and this is a new ability that's brought on by that Night Fae Covenant, and it is so powerful, as we can see here.
Yeah, so here's the first setup. They get the Demon Hunter Imprisonment, stun on Warwick's, Combust. Now, Fnoberz has to trade out his Iron Bark here, and Warwick has to Trinket here, right? So now, the only thing that they can use on the Hunt is Unending Resolve. So Tren here is still building up pressure. Another really good thing about the Demon Hunter, aside from some of the things we highlighted, like the reverse magic, is that you actually have a purge as well as a Demon Hunter. So it's really nice against these Druid teams. You can continue to remove HOTS. He lands an interrupt here. Here's big damage. Works dropping low, and here stun the Hunt. And he actually did use Unending Resolve there. So that the Hunt killed Warwick through a 40% damage reduction. So I'm gonna guess that was probably the Hunt crit there for Tren as well, because it's a significant cooldown that Warwick had up there.
If the hunt crits, you win. I mean, I don't think Demon Hunters play a lot of crit, but if it crits, I think it's literally like 60% of your health, 70% of your health, even more if you use your mobility to get through it as well.
I was putting off leveling my Demon Hunter, you know, because we don't see it. I was like, I had a bit of fun with it in BFA. I got like level 51 on it. I actually have my Warglaives. It's time walking week. I'm thinking like, do I just grind it to 60, unlock my Warglaives, and gear this now?
There's some really cute Warglaives transmogs too in Night Phase. So if that floats your boat, go ahead.
I will say. No, I was just gonna say I feel like this is a disaster. Like this is just an absolute disaster right now for Tegridy Damp. Like, I don't know. If I was them, I'd be really afraid of this composition. Yeah, I mean, you see it's just those rinse repeat setups. They're so powerful, and basically every single time you have a stun, you have either a combustion or you have a hunt, and they're gonna have to deal with that and rotate appropriately. But I feel like they did. They Iron Barked the first setup, they unresolved the second setup, and they still just died instantly.
Yeah, my boy Tren just hit me up as well. He's like, when are we queuing, bro? So we got the queues being set up here with Tren,
just
of course.
Now?
Yeah, just now. And I asked him, how much did he crit? Yeah, this is, you know, every AWC I just sit here and I'm just whispering like Waz and Tren and these guys asking if they want to queue later. You know, shameless. But he said it was a 13,700 the hunt, non-crit.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Well,
wait, how much?
Sympathies, are you pleased?
Almost 14,000, non-crit.
I'm smiling.
All right, well,
it?
I mean, Creed, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say they also. I feel like Demon Hunters, they recently got a change to their Fell Rush. I do believe their mobility.
Unbound Chaos.
Yeah, it does
so
a
now,
lot of
their
damage.
Fell Rush is insane damage.
So now it's not even just the hunt. You hunt and then immediately Fell Rush, and it's an extra like 8,000 damage or something like that. So it's a scary combo. And Tegridy Damp. I don't think
you can play a Warlock into this.
Well, good
they
luck,
don't
Wallirik.
have an option. They don't have a choice.
If Wallirik literally plays anything else, he should play literally anything else. There is no way I think a Warlock beats this.
Have we seen him play something that is like not a caster class before?
I mean, Boomkin would be even better, I think. Like, Boomkin Shadow Priest into this would be decent, I think. But Warlock is just... You're just going to get completely cut apart. I don't think they're going to change it. I think Tegridy Damp are probably going to play the same comp. Maybe they try a Paladin Healer, so they have more immunities to break crowd control and immunities to just stop the type of burst damage that's available. They're really talking about maybe making an adjustment, because you would think that this team is just a one trick. They're running Shadow Priest, Druid lock. They're just going to lock it in, but they're taking their time, so they might be considering something.
You know what I wish they would do? And this is going to sound troll as well, but I feel like there's another spec that we don't see very often.
Demo,
good.
Demo, right?
Don't say Demonology.
Yes,
Demonology.
Yes.
Wallirik could go Demonology. He'd be significantly tankier, and they couldn't one-shot him like that because he has Soul Link. I feel like Demo's actually so good.
And he will have Axe Toss, which is basically like a Storm Bolt. It's a stun that you can't really avoid. Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing, actually. If Warwick goes Demo, I think it's not too bad. And Demo actually aren't that bad in this patch, too. They actually do a lot of damage right now. So
they're really good.
I actually believe in the demo here. If he plays Aptly Warlock, the strength of the Aptly Warlock is, well, people can't connect on me. I can run away and get away from people. But a Demon Hunter is pretty hard to get away from. I mean, especially a Demon Hunter as good as Tren, right? He's going to have that uptime. And as long as they get those range stuns and he gets to press the hunt, like they're going to be able to get their damage off.
There's no running away from him. This is going to be scary for these guys.
It's the reign of the demons. Like, we need to see the Demonology Warlock. We need to see the Demon Hunters coming in. And I don't know, so far, I feel like Creed, they're looking good in this one. Tegridy Damp, I really think they need to make an adjustment. We'll see. I mean, maybe that was kind of just a one-off kind of fluke, but I really don't think so. I mean, Tren didn't even crit there, and it was still just a one-shot on Wallirik. So we'll see what kind of adaptation Tegridy Damp can come in with. So far in the standings, they're doing great. They're 3-1 so far, so even if they took a loss here against Creed, it wouldn't be completely devastating for them. But obviously, you want to be picking up as many wins as possible, and Creed is looking good so far in the series.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it again. So again, the setups are going to be a stun on Warwick, imprisonment on Fnoberz, and then they're going to pop combustion or the hunt. And here we go, imprisonment, there's the stun, there's the combustion, big damage here onto Warwick. Now, Fnoberz needs to try to hold on to his Iron Bark. He's forced to use it there because Saza is doing too much damage in this situation. So this is exactly what they wanted. On the side of Creed, they got the cooldown from Warwick, they got the Iron Bark. Now they can just sheep Warwick here, build up that momentum, wait for that stun and that imprisonment, and then they can set up the same thing that we saw in game number 1, Sid.
Yeah, they're going for it. A double stun. Here comes the hunt. Oh, he baits it. He's trying to bait a cooldown. He's canceling his hunt cast. You can faking out Wallirik, trying to make him use that unending resolve. He didn't fake him out, though. Walrik's just holding on to it. That's going to be really stressful as the Warlock. You have to just immediately respond to that and then also deal with the fact that it can be fake casted. It's so fast. Tren is still holding on to it. Fnoberz now with no medallion, waiting for the next crowd control before engaging. Drainer getting swapped to here. Tegridy Damp trying to create some opportunities onto the enemy healer. Silence, well timed, down at half HP into a triple Howl of Terror, but not enough damage to finish the job. Drainer restabilizes. Tren is now trying to stay on target. Wallirik using the map effectively, but Tren is also at knife. Here comes the hunt from downtown. Not going to be a crit this time around. Wallirik trading the unending resolve. Has to void shift as well, despite that perfect timing on that cooldown. Is he even going to die through both of these defensive cooldowns? There's not much left. Nature Swiftness comes up in 1 second for Fnoberz, but he's got to recover 2 targets. He's playing it cautiously, holding on to it. Tren now low health. They managed to get his Darkness proc. That's at least an opportunity for them, but their defense is quite limited.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is. Still Darkness available here for Tren, so there's some defense to work with. Drainer's mana is doing pretty well also. And it's just kind of the style of this composition. Tren and Saza, outside of their one-shots, there's not going to be that much pressure on Wallirik, so he should be able to effectively kite. Right now, he does get interrupted. Potential Kleptomania on all the heal over time effects. Wallirik with a beautiful Howl of Terror, trying to set up some damage with the Unstable Affliction. And it's going to be all up to Zot in this matchup to try to create some pressure onto Drainer. But so far, I mean, you can look, Creed, they are doing well in terms of mana, doing well in terms of health. Drainer throws in a Dispel, and that's going to remove all those damage over time effects, and he should be able to recover in this situation. Now Tegridy Damp, they're going to have to be very careful because Hunt's almost off cooldown. Combustion is available. Here comes a Combustion on Wallirik. Big damage incoming. He might just get dropped, and he does. These setups are so powerful from Creed. Tegridy Damp just doesn't know what to do.
Look at Fnoberz. He's just looking at from
I mean, I don't blame him. I literally, not even just like defensively, like offensively, how are you going to kill anything? They can't kill a single person on that team. There's not a single person on Creed's comp that can die in my mind. Like, I'm trying to think of what situation would have to happen. It's like Drainer gets interrupted, maybe, in mind games and just crit one shot. Like, there's no threat whatsoever against this composition. Tren is so durable with reverse magic, metamorphosis healing. The hunt also adds extra healing. He's just going to be self-sufficient. The mage taking reduced dot damage, having so many shields to absorb damage. Drainer just plays at the pillar, line of sighting all of the casts. I mean, Creed came ready to play with this strategy against this team Tegridy Damp that only really had one option. They're going to come to match point at the end of this game, and I really think that they need to make a change. I don't know what else other than, again, like, if Wallirik still plays a Boomkin, I feel like he's played it at some point. Just look how overwhelming this burst damage is constantly onto their team. Every time there's a cooldown, basically it's a kill. And then outside of that, there's no counter pressure. If I was Drainer's team, I mean, I would just be, if I was Drainer, I'm just sitting, I'm relaxed. This is easy game, easy life.
I don't think I've ever seen like such a difference between like the 2 player cams. Like Creed obviously having a really fun time over there, and then you just see Tegridy Damp look pretty frustrated. I don't really blame them. But that is going to be Creed at 2-0 right now, and we can see these match results on our screen. I don't know, anything we want to mention here?
I mean, so I mean, you can just kind of look at the damage done. You would expect Wallirik and Zot to have a significantly more just overall damage. If Saza and Tren, their win condition is one-shotting, well, it turns out they also do a lot of consistent damage also. You see their healing as well. Both Tren and Saza doing a significant amount of healing and absorbs, and that's kind of what Supatiz is talking about. Both the Fire Mage with the Triune Barrier and Tren with, you know, all the leech healing that he has. They're both very self-sufficient against this kind of rot composition. And I really don't see a world where Tegridy Damp wins before dampening. Like, I think they have to survive a really long time. They have to get into dampening, and that's kind of how they're going to win this matchup. If they can't get there, which is really hard to do when you're just constantly under fire from the hunt and combustion, this is definitely an uphill battle. I really think Tegridy Damp needs to play Demonology. I know it sounds crazy, but I swear it's better.
Agreed.
Yeah, well, it is their turn right now to pick their comp, so let's see if they do decide to lock that in here. And really the question is, Wally, does he have that prepared? Is he ready to swap specs here in that matchup? Bit of a risky play as well, because if it doesn't work out, they lose this series here, and that would not be good for them.
What? Wait, what am I seeing on my screen?
All right, well, let's talk about this. We're seeing Wally, Locke, and Hunter. I don't think I've ever seen this from this player before. At least in a competition.
This is like BM Hunter is
BM in more than one way.
BM Hunter is it's getting a lot more popular. So a lot. I mean, we saw Jellybeans bring it in. I think it's one of those specs that we are going to be seeing a lot more of. Maybe it's like the new Fire Mage. You know, instead of Walrus kind of like bringing in alt on the Fire Mage, he's bringing in the alt BM Hunter. Because this is a really good composition. Shadow Priest BM. I don't know about the Holy Priest, but I mean, we'll see if they can make it work.
What are we gonna? What are the setups gonna look like? Is this gonna be carrying them into dampening, or are they gonna try and be a little bit more aggressive here with Creed's setups?
I think it's just stun Holy Paladin, stun Demon Hunter, trap Holy Paladin, hit Demon Hunter, rinse, repeat, hope that it works.
Okay.
That's at least what I'm expecting from Tegridy Damp.
The good thing about this comp is that, so the reason why the damage was, even like the passive damage was higher on Creed compared to Tegridy Damp, even though Tegridy Damp is the high overall damage team, is because Creed would do their setup and then they would go behind the pillar. Like sometimes Saza would stay out in the open, but he's a mage, so he's not going to really take any damage anyway. And his self-healing alone is going to kind of self-sustain that. But now, after Creed do their setups and go back to the pillar, well, you're going to have the BM Hunter still doing maximum damage. A BM Hunter is actually, I think, the spec that does the most damage in Arena right now. Puts out the most amount of pressure. It's basically does the same numbers as a Affliction Warlock, but it's a little bit different. Obviously, you're a bit more squishy in stunts and things like that. But with the Demon Hunter, I think they're going to have good pressure that way, and they're going to have that MS as well from the Demon Hunter, which is nice. But still, this comp, I mean, I would be lying if I didn't say it reeks of desperation.
You're not going to hit up Walrick's to queue with his BM Hunter?
So there's like... could.
Probably not.
It could. The thing is, like, I feel like Walrick's coming on the BM Hunter. There's another thing that's nice is the reward sacrifice for the Fire Mage.
Yeah.
The thing that scares me, though, is if Walrick doesn't have really good pet control on the Hunter, like if he's like, this is like his second time playing Hunter or whatever, his pet is really susceptible to going down. I mean, they could literally just hunt the pet, combust the pet, and if they're not ready for it, the Walrus is going to be a nightmare for him. So we'll see what Tegridy Damp does. We'll see how Creed decides to implement their offense. But as a Fire Mage, what you can do is just combust one target, it gets Roar Sacked, and then you just tap target the pet and dump the rest of your damage on the pet. And then all of a sudden they have to kind of emergency heal that. And if they don't, then the pet goes down, and Walrus is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Okay, well, Tegridy Damp switching things up at the very last minute here. This is their last chance to turn this one around, and they're bringing out Wally on the BM. Certainly something we are not used to seeing. Looks like Tegridy Damp does have a bit of a delay here, which honestly I'm not surprised. They're probably talking things over, talking about his strategy.
He's probably setting up his
No.
Or they're potentially delaying the inevitable. You think they're setting up their binds? Is that what you said?
I think Wallirik is probably maybe Fnoberz. I mean, Fnoberz probably has a Holy Paladin and a Restoger we've seen play, but we've literally never seen him play Holy Priest and never seen him play BM Hunter. They're probably like, all right, you know what? Shadow Priest, BM Hunter counters Mage, right? Like, you can play a BM Hunter, Wallirik. You're a great player. You've been playing for years. I feel like there's been, like, in the past, players have picked up BM Hunter. I feel like BM Hunter might be a little bit more complex than in other expansions at the moment in terms of its overall damage management. It's probably the most complex it's been. Not super complex, but more so than it has in the past. So I do worry a bit about flipping over to it right away, but I feel like this is still better. Even if he's literally just taking the delay time to just set up his character, it's still a better option than playing a Warlock into this. There's no way they win with Warlock. It's negative % that they win with Warlock. So
Affliction Warlock.
This just reminds me of the old like arena tournament days where like you'd just re-roll to something in one day and just spam play it for fun. Like if you were like, I've never played Beast Cleave before, I'm gonna play Beast Cleave, and then just log on and make it. So Tegridy Damp are they're throwing a YOLO card, but it makes sense on paper. Although the Holy Priest is still a little bit weird to me. You do get the extra stun, so they could do triple stuns between the Shadow Priest, the Hunter, and the Holy Priest for a lockdown, but are they going to be that coordinated? Having seen them play this for the first time, that's what I'm more worried about. And also, is this something that can blind lock? Like Creed can just play maybe an Ellie Shaman instead of a Fire Mage if the Fire Mage actually ends up having a problem here.
Yeah.
Well,
I want to throw a prediction. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I don't like. I really don't think this is going to be an issue. I feel like the Demon Hunter Fire Mage has this covered. It's actually a really well-rounded composition. Like, the thing is, a lot of people don't know this, but Demon Hunters actually have a PvP talent now, I do believe, called Mortal Rush. So in the past, one thing that Demon Hunters did not have was a Mortal Wounds effect that reduced healing. You actually have that as a Demon Hunter now. So you have the reduction in healing like a Warrior or a Rogue or a Windwalker would bring. You have the ability to one-shot. You have a lot of defense. I think Demon Hunters are they're definitely looking good, and I don't know. I feel like Wallirik, if he doesn't play phenomenally well defensively, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
All right, well, let's see it. Let's see if this spec swap is going to be enough for these guys. Tegridy Damp down to the wire here. Creed on match point. First time we're seeing a Demon Hunter in Shadowlands.
All right, and the Demon Hunter is already making a lot of things happen here. A lot of pressure coming out from Tren. There was no cross stun. Oh, here we go. Here comes Tegridy Damp. Full trap onto Drainer. Stun, interfere onto Tren. I don't like that they're going after Tren. I feel like the strength of Creed's comp is that they have, of Tegridy Damp's comp is that they have triple dispel. They need to make sure that the Hunter and the Shadow Priest and even the Holy Priest are all spamming dispel on Saza. Never let him get value out of his altar time. Never let him get value out of Triune Ward, and that's going to be how they dismantle this comp. But if Creed can run over them and get their setups and get the pressure here, could be lights out. Zod already taking a lot of damage. Reading the dispersion here. This was the combustion. I can't believe he's actually holding on to it.
Dispersion.
No, finally trades out the dispersion right there. So they get one thing off the checklist here, and it looks like Zod is going to be the target of choice here.
All right, sitting on that hunt, waiting to pop it. He's faking it out, and he fakes out the Void Shift. That is so scary. Look how fast the hunt cast is, and Trent's faking it, managing to pull out a cooldown, and at any time can pounce. Getting through the Guardian now as well. I think they may have procced it. No, but this could be it. Trent's still holding on to the hunt. Imprisoned Hunt. Trent waiting for it. Here comes the hunt. Big hit on Zot. Down to 10% on match point. Fades available. Fading at 10%. Barely staying alive. Decent pressure onto Saza, though, with a silence onto Drainer. Mind Games getting casted, but Zod is just getting blasted. He is not looking too stable at the moment here. Sacrifice going to trade from Drainer onto Saza to get aggressive. Triple crowd control engagement by Creed. Trying to push forward, reset the combustion. It's coming up in 10 seconds or 2 more fireballs roughly for Saza. And that combustion could easily close the game.
No question about it. You can see Tren is forced to kind of run behind the pillar right now. Zot and Fnoberz looking to get aggressive. Wallirik putting out a decent amount of pressure here onto Saza, but I don't think he should be able to take the mage down. I mean, Drainer at mana still looking good. Still has some defensive cooldowns. Might have to actually trade the Divine Shield. It could be something mirror image from Saza. No, just repositioning far away. Tren putting out a lot of pressure. Actually getting targeted right now, so taking a decent amount of damage, but Drainer now free from crowd control. Tren should be okay. We've got combustion available for Saza. Who are they going to put it on? We'll have to see. Here comes the fear onto Drainer. Mind Games comes out onto Tren. Darkness drops down, the auto darkness. So that's another thing. We haven't seen too much Demon Hunters, but the legendary that most Demon Hunters use is when they dip below a certain threshold of health, the darkness automatically drops down. It's a huge bolster of defense, and it makes it really difficult to take the Demon Hunter down.
It's really good for them to rotate their cooldowns as well. Drainer's going to have his trinket coming back up. Zot takes a big hit there. And it looks like they're trying to set up a kill onto Fnoberz. And I kind of like that. Fnoberz has no trinket for 30 seconds, so if they want to, they can go after him. Zot has his dispersion right now, so if they go after Zot, at best they're going to force that dispersion, but it could be worth to try to get it out of the checkbook And trying to here use his trinket and his nether walk. You get mind controlled on it. They're walking him back out. Very nice mind control here by Zot. But look at that sheep from Saza. He's spelling all the dots on Tren and healing him as well. Shielding his own teammate. Very nicely done there. Tren now ducking forward here, or ducking behind the pillar here. Doesn't have reverse magic. Drainer doesn't have his trinket. Doesn't want to trade out the divine shield here. So they're just keeping it cool for a second. Now they're going after Warwick. It seems like they get a full ring of frost. They're gonna go after Zot now, but he does land the massive spell there onto Fnoberz. So mana definitely in favor of Creed, and this could be one of those games that goes for mana. Mind games on Tren. He's taking a lot of damage. Sacrifice trades out. That is the ultimate sacrifice there by Drainer as well. Gets mind control on it. This could be another sheep from Saza, but they cancel the mind control there before the sheep goes off. So both teams still looking pretty healthy at this point.
Good crowd control by Tegridy Damp. Easily their best game so far in the series. They've gotten everything from Tren at this point. If they can just stay on target here, I like the swap to the Demon Hunter instead of the Fire Mage. They've been getting a lot more work done attacking Tren. Saza blinking over, trying to get on the side of Fnoberz, I would imagine, here for a Polymorph. Fnoberz is running across the midfield. Tren still the target. Wallirik is just doing as much damage as possible by himself right now. Mana's not looking good for Fnoberz, though. Saza goes for a Polymorph. Is Tren going to be able to get there? Master Spell catches him. Now Tren jumps in onto Zot. Eye Beam to get into Metamorphosis. Is the Hunt available? Life Grip pulling Zot, but now they're stacked up for a double stun. Beautiful punish. Here comes the Hunt, the fake out. They're swapping Fnoberz on that Holy Priest, trying to trick Tegridy Damp here. Now swapping back to Zot on the counterspell with the Combustion. Really tearing into multiple power points here. Tren likely needs to start worrying about himself, though. He's out in midfield trying to use the Metamorphosis to immune a stun. He doesn't catch it. That's a freezing trap on his healer. Big damage from Tegridy Damp over onto Tren. And he gets stunned up again at 30% health here. Darkness going to be down for him. Immuning the incoming pressure. Drainer is still silenced, though, for a moment. 1 second left on the silence into a stun. He has to Divine Shield. Tren's in trouble, even with the Divine Shield. Drainer is struggling to recover. If Tegridy Damp can hold this together, there's potential.
Definitely. Let's see what Tren can do. The Hunt comes out on Fnoberz. Big damage into a Fell Eruption. He manages to survive. And it looks like Fnoberz should be able to hold on. Right now, Tren is all over him. Still no auto darkness available for a little bit longer, so Tren very susceptible to going down. And there's a lot of pressure here from Tegridy Damp. Like you said, this is their best game so far while we're coming in on that Beast Mastery Hunter. Let's see what they can do. I almost feel like I want to see Creed go after the Hunter a little bit more, kind of test him. I mean, when you come in on an alternate class, a lot of the time the thing that struggles the most is your defensive capabilities. So maybe go after Wallirik, just kind of test his defense, but it looks like they do want to go after Fnoberz right now. Big incoming damage. That's a Combustion Guardian trades. But Tren is just under fire, constantly at half health. Tegridy Damp, they are definitely testing this Demon Hunter.
Yeah, very, very nice showing so far for Warwick on that Hunter. But Tren now is going to have his Trinket Netherwalk. He actually pre-Netherwalks the stun here, so he's going to be able to hold on to his Trinket, but his Netherwalk fades. There's the reverse magic onto the crowd control on Drainer there, but now he gets trapped. It breaks, though. I don't know if Drainer taunted the pet there or what he did, but he didn't have Trinket, so he's going to come out of that CC. That could have been the game right there, honestly, that CC. So Drainer, I don't know how he got out there, but that was a big moment, and they are going after Warwick. Big damage coming out here onto Warwick. Nice turnaround there. Warwick's a little bit overextended. He's line of sighting his healer here. Fnoberz mana not looking good. I think Tegridy Damp, if they don't win very, very shortly here, they're going to be out of mana completely. Tren's darkness is rotating back up. He's got his blur, probably has his auto darkness as well, so he's feeling pretty confident. Full trap here onto Drainer. His trinket is going to be up for another 30 seconds. Tren needs to somehow survive here. He has his darkness now finally ready. He's line of sighting Warwick. He's going to drop the auto darkness and go after Warwick. Here comes the Hunt! Big stun into stun! Ooh, big void shift though from Zot there, saving the day. They might go after Zot here actually. A lot of pressure still from Creed, and I think they've done it. If they can just stay alive for a little bit longer, I think they got this game in the bag here.
Yeah, they're in a good position at this point. Wallirik is just at 10% health. Trading the aspect of the turtle may die to a Ignite Dot at this point. His Exhilaration comes up in 5 seconds for a big heal. Can Fnoberz stabilize into the 1 second Polymorph? Fnoberz having to trinket out of that. This is desperation for Tegridy Damp on match point. Can they hold it together and find a kill onto Tren in time? The clock is ticking, and that could just be it. Guardian at 10%, stabilizing Walrik's just in time. Drainer caught into fear. Tren can't get overconfident here. They're very close to winning, but they haven't won yet. Tren trading darkness while Drainer is crowd controlled. trying to duck into the shadows. Walrik's in a good position, though, to just attack him in line of sight the mage at the pillar. I really like Walrik's position here. He's really laying into Tren. Mind controls, cheeky mind controls at low health. Drainer trading sacrifice. Now they're trying to get aggressive. Maybe a swap onto Fnoberz here. He's got no mana, no trinket. He's caught in a full stun. Is he going to be able to survive? A stun for follow-up. He's got Greater Fate available at the end of it if he needs to trade. Still down at half, going for a Serenity, getting a Fear on Drainer. Tren could be in trouble if they can get Wallirik out of these polymorphs. Wallirik just not able to do any damage. Imprison on Zod at low health. They grip Wallirik up to the team here to go for a freezing trap potentially onto Drainer. Wallirik is getting very close and personal to Drainer, wants to land this freezing trap. He can't really afford to miss it. And he's not taking the chance that Tren eats it at this point. Now he's stuck in a stun blinding light. Tren gets stunned up. Wallirik is moving forward, still trying to get the freezing trap on Drainer. Is he going to be able to get it here on the Horrify? No, Drainer dodges the freezing trap. Walrik's now in trouble with nothing left here on match point. The hunt connects, and Creed close it out 3-0.
Wow, what a game that was. I mean, Tren's still a little bit low. There's no way. Zuck gets interrupted. I mean, that was the best game we've seen from Tegridy. Damp. Definitely, I mean, that was really close. Tren really didn't have too many defensive cooldowns left, but to Tren's credit, he did such a good job when he needed to, just kiting away, using all that Demon Hunter mobility, all the defensive cooldowns effectively, and you could tell, I mean, for Creed, that was, I mean, the first two games were too stressful, game number 3 stressful, but that was such an important win for them. They're now 3-1 in this round robin, and they definitely look good with this Demon Hunter Mage composition.
Yeah, most definitely. I wonder if we see this moving forward here from this team, considering how well that series went. But we're going to see game number 3, that replay coming up very shortly. But, I mean, this is going to be spelling very good things, I feel like, for this team, Creed, moving forward. Able to take down Tegridy Damp here 3-0. So very good series overall for them. But here's that replay from game number 3.
I really feel like if they had a bigger map, it would have been better for Tegridy Damp, since Creed are kind of the aggressors. But at this point, Tren, he's really far ahead still on cooldowns. Drainer's mana is not looking good here, so this game is still pretty close. Warwick has his trinket here, so I'm not sure if he actually ends up trinketing this stun. No, this is the stun. He sits this. He sits. He gets the spell on the blinding light. This is when he's going for the freezing trap onto Drainer still. Tren still very low here, trying to recover, and then here just in a massive amount of damage from Saza. Look at that Ring of Frost on the Hunter pet there as well of Warwick's. When you Ring of Frost the pet, you can't actually use Roar of Sacrifice, which is that big counter to combustion. So nice job there by Saza, catching the pet out of line of sight from Fnoberz, getting a Ring of Frost on it, gets the combust, drops Warwick's extremely low, and then Tren is there with the hunt to finish things off.
I feel like, you know, that we know